Hello and welcome back to the studio. My name is Carson, and as always, this is K2 Productions. Today, we are going to continue on the Fives Clone Trooper helmet build. So today I'm going to show you how the rangefinder works, and we are going to tape off the helmet for all the crazy designs that Fives has on his forehead and on the fin. If you haven't watched the previous episodes of this build, definitely go check it out. It's pretty decently important. The links will be down in the description, or I will put a card right up here. Hey guys, so I've been kind of busy. I actually started mixing the Bondo for another project that I have, and then I was like, oh crap, I need to use Bondo on my helmet and on my rangefinder that I printed. So this is not the raw print. I already have Bondo on it, but here is the antenna, and then here's the rangefinder head. As you can see, it has Bondo all over it because this side really needed to be filled in. This side looks pretty good. I'm just going to leave it like that, honestly, and just paint right over it. But I put some Bondo on these sides, and then here's the cap for it. So how this is going to work is, so here's the antenna, and it's got a screw. There's a big hole on this side and a small hole on this side. So on this side, it'll have like the screw head and a washer, and then it'll drill. So this will be the outside. So it'll be like this. If you have your head, here's the helmet, here's the outside. So the screw head will go through it and then into the helmet, and then there'll be another washer or nut or whatever, to keep it like that so that it can come forward, so you can it's a functional rangefinder. And then so that'll be what's it called, screwed onto the helmet so it can move, and then this cap is what also printed, and it will and so you just glue the cap on, no screw can be seen. It's very cool. And then the actual rangefinder thing just sticks right on the antenna, like so, but it's got Bondo. Oh, there we go, like that. So then you can, it drips over, and then you can range find the heck out of whoever. Everyone, so I'm back. It's another day, the next day actually. And so the last thing I did was spray paint all my, at least the tops and kind of sides, whatever I could do, of my rangefinder pieces, and then I painted all the pieces that. So the helmet is basically done. I'm gonna do some really light, like probably with some high grit sandpaper. Just and then I probably won't even give it another paint. I'm just gonna do a little bit over the places that I put new Bondo on with some really high, like probably like 200 some grit sandpaper. I know I'm using more grit sandpaper again. I know I said I wouldn't, but you know what it is, what it is. Okay, fine. But yeah, so I'm just gonna sand that a little bit more and do a little bit more sanding on this, and then paint obviously the underside and the back sides of these. And then really it'll be done, and we'll be finally ready to put some actual cool paint on it. I'm done with these as well. They were super easy to sand. So I have these primed and sanded. This is kind of where you're gonna have to start being a little bit more careful with paint. The filler primer is so, like, it dries so fast, and if it runs, you just sand it. It dries immediately. It's never sticky or anything like that, and it's fine. But once you start painting with real paint, like real spray paint and not filler primer, you kind of have to be more careful. You kind of have to, like, sneak up on it, like lots of layers of paint, lots of thin coats of paint instead of a really thick, because then it'll dry sticky, and like if you touch it too much, it'll come off and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna basically work on trying to make the helmet nice and white first, and then we will start working on the masking for the real thing. And I'm gonna see what I can do about finding some better reference images for it, so that really want it to be accurate to the Clone Wars, even though it's not. I prefer the realistic version better, but there are all these different versions of the paint, and I really want it to look like the Clone Wars one. But yeah, we're gonna get this boy painted all nice and white, and we'll be back for the masking. Hey, so you can see I put 2 coats on it now. It's looking pretty white. It's not totally white yet. I'm probably gonna put probably like 2. We'll see, 2 more coats on it maybe. So I think I'm done painting my whole helmet white now. I'm pretty dang satisfied with how it looks. Um, Everything is nice and painted and white and clean. It looks really good. So I've been taking a look at some of the reference pictures and stuff like that. So basically we're gonna have to print, or I mean paint these will be blue. I think I'm gonna make this a dark gray or black. I have to check again. The teeth will be black. He has the antenna is gonna be dark gray, so I'm actually just gonna use the filler primer, and it's gonna be the right color. And then obviously he has the big blue thing that goes like that, and then back, and then it'll be blue all the way down here. So basically the strategy for that I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a pencil and just very, very lightly start drawing in all the designs that I want on it. Mostly here, like I'm not going to have to, draw in this, like it's literally the hollow cave of the cheek is painted blue. But definitely the whole forehead and fin and then back, I'm gonna just really lightly draw in with pencil, and then after that I will mask it all off, and then we will try and start painting. So yeah, I'm just gonna literally be looking back and forth between the reference pictures and this, and just kind of draw it all out, and hopefully everything will turn all right. Oh, and then this is a dark gray or black, I'm pretty sure. This little hollow band around. I literally got online and I couldn't find any true screenshots from the Clone Wars of Fives, so I actually pulled up my Disney Plus account and I found an episode that I knew Fives was going to be in a bit, and as an ARC trooper, and I literally like skipped 10 seconds through and just kept skipping and skipping and skipping until I found spots that that looked good and that I could see well. So like there's actually a really good shot of the back of his helmet. It definitely, that's the best way to find reference images for these, because nothing else, at least I just wanted one that was very accurate to the Clone Wars, which I know sounds counterintuitive because I'm using a realistic version, but I wanted one. I'm making this for a friend and we like the realistic version better, or at least I do. And that's the only model that I have also. But I like the realistic version better, but I know we love the Clone Wars, and we want it to look as well, I want it to look as close to the Clone Wars version as possible, because like I said before, some versions have like that really thick thing that comes out and stuff. So I just want it to be as accurate as I can in that sense, by the paint way. But other than that, I'm gonna set up a time lapse, and you'll kind of see me sketching out everything, and then I'll mask it, and we'll be ready for paint. All right, so after a while of drawing, I finished all my drawings. So you can see this all looks pretty solid. I just used the reference pictures that I had from the screenshots from the show, and just kind of lightly drew it all on. I drew on like a little grid piece for the little vent sticker things that are on the sides. And then the other things are pretty self-explanatory. Like I know the teeth you have to tape off and stuff like that. And this, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this, the band that goes around, or this yet, because in some pictures it just looks like it's just shaded, like because it's deeper, it just looks darker. And in some it actually looks like it's a separate color. So I haven't decided yet. But then I noticed that it is not just this center panel that is painted. It's actually, you can see from some angles that this is white, but this piece right here is not white, and this whole underside of the cheek is not white either. So I drew very lightly. You can kind of see there's a line right there, and then it goes from there and up, and then over here, and then it goes across. So now I'm going to be taping everything off for the blue, and then the red are just these tiny little spots, so those will be easy, and same with the black. So I'm going to tape everything off for the blue first. Okay, so I pretty much have all of the masking done except for this cheek and the little vents or whatever they are right here. So now I'm gonna I'll just zoom in and kind of show you how I get the masking around all these really small things and like complex curves and stuff like that. Okay, so basically what I do is I take a piece of tape, a piece of masking tape, and this is like an inch and a half or 2 inches thick probably. And I have a thicker one too. I've just been using the smaller one because most of the details are small. And then I rip it in half long ways so that I have 2 clean edges for every piece of tape. You know, like, so when I rip it in half long ways, I have 2 pieces that have this clean straight edge. And then so we'll do this cheek. For the complex curves of this area, first I'll kind of do it a little, I'll kind of rough it out a little bit. So I'll put kind of like a big piece of tape on like the straightest area that I can find, and then I'll rip it off. But then, so I'll basically draw like points. So when it starts turning, you can rip it off and you can put it right on the line and slowly curve it just a little bit. So like this curve is gradual enough to where I can just basically just slightly turn the tape, but you can see the point where they meet right there. And then usually I'll just take another small piece of tape and I'll connect that so that it curves. So you'll see when I do it, when I start getting here, you can see I adjusted it again, but you can see there's that angleness right there. So that's pretty, like from back here, you never notice it. So I don't usually take care of those, but in here, you'll have to do a lot of really little taping. So I'll show you. So you can see the next piece that I put on is like maybe a centimeter long because the curve is starting to be a lot more tight. So you just kind of need to keep making small pieces and slowly getting them around the turn. So that one, the next piece that I put is almost completely overlapping the piece prior. So I'm going to put a piece right here to get rid of that angle now, and you'll see the difference. So you can see I just put this piece on over top of these two, and now this curve is much less angular. And I'll probably put a piece on this one too on second thought, just because it's going to bother me. See, so now I've put this piece right there on that one. So now you can see the curve is a lot more gentle and smooth. And then for the insides, for the straight lines, they're a lot easier. You can literally just, I put, so like in this spot right here, you have to put a piece of tape, you know, that meet in these corners. So what I'll do is I'll just put a piece of tape on the line and pretty close to the corner, but not quite, so that it doesn't mess with it. So you can see I put that pretty much almost right in the corner. And then what you can do when you find your other piece of tape and you do the other part of the corner, and when they meet, then it makes a nice clean line. As long, you just can't let them overlap with each other really. So now you can see I have a piece going this way and a piece going this way, and neither of them, they kind of meet right in the corner, and they both overlap a little bit, and that's how that corner is made, because otherwise you'd have to do some like tight cutting and stuff like that. So I'll take my tape again and just pull out however much I feel like I need, and rip it in half and just keep on going. And then for things like these, like this piece right here, you can kind of see I have two pieces in there, but I did use an X-Acto knife to kind of cut them. And same with the circles. There's no way I could, it would take forever to do the method that I was just showing you inside of those circles. You need so many pieces of tape to make those angles. So I did use an X-Acto knife and cut them. But it's kind of hard because I don't want to I don't want to scratch up the helmet surface too much, especially with the X-Acto knife, you know, when I'm cutting right around the design. So I try to avoid using the X-Acto knife as much as I can. But you just kind of, I'll put it on and I'll just like literally I'll put it on like that, and then I'll peel it up so I can see the design, and then put it back down and cut it and peel it up and keep going like that until I've got the whole thing cut out, and I just start peeling up different sides as I'm going so that I can get it. So like if I was cutting out like a circle underneath this, I'd go like this, see the circle underneath it, and then cut that, and then I'd go like this and see the circle over there, and then cut it. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And then for the vents over here, basically what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put a big, I'm basically going to use X-Acto knife for pretty much all of this just because it's too small. I'm going to put a big, I'm going to try and make a square that perfectly fits in that, and then I'll just X-Acto knife the pieces that are supposed to be white and peel them out, because I don't know how else to do it for that. You kind of know a little bit of how I do my masking tape, I'm going to finish it up and I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished, and then we will go paint. So now I have everything taped off completely. I have my lines on the sides and the cheekbones and the whole top and the back. So now what I'm gonna do is I have some newspaper from our recycling bin, and I'm literally just going to cover the whole helmet. I'm just gonna, cover it with newspaper and then tape the outlines, connect it with all the tape that's already here, so that the only thing that can get sprayed is the spots that need to be blue. Thank you so much if you've made it to this point in the video. As I've said before, I know these videos get super long, but I'm just trying to go into as much detail as I possibly can because I had to figure out a lot of this stuff on my own, and when I was trying to figure it out, there were no videos, or not very many videos, that went into the detail that I felt that I needed to learn some of this stuff. So if you do like these videos and you haven't already, definitely think about subscribing and hitting the like button to let me know that you appreciate these type of videos and you want to see more Star Wars build videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell if you haven't already. You do not want to miss out on the next pieces, and I got some other pretty cool videos coming out. But most importantly, if you'd like to support us in any way, the easiest way that you can do it is absolutely free. All you have to do is share this with a friend who wants his own Clone Trooper helmet. Other than that, you can follow us on Twitter if you'd like to. That's where you can share your builds with us. You can also reach us there, although I recommend, if you have any questions, to put them down in the comments. I'm super active and I love to answer any of your guys' questions. That's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you guys next time. Stay safe out there and get out there and make something.